Kids and cadets, welcome back to Tommy Time. Thanks for coming out. Hitting it hard today on this 2006 Poulan Pro. It has a Quantum 6.5 horsepower Briggs-Stratton engine. So I got this for $10 along with two other non-runners. My local scrapper that delivers stopped by. He initially brought me that snapper and then came back a few days later with the Poulan Pro and that Toro recycler. I ended up giving 10 for the Toro, and the Poulan, the snapper, I went up to 15. It needs a lot of work. So, started working on this thing. Degreased the deck, the engine case. I've spray painted that black already. Now I'm moving on to other issues that I've found with this thing, and we'll discuss those one by one. No issues with the tank, thankfully. It appears to be in great shape, maybe even an aftermarket tank, possibly. I pressure tested it, no cracks and leaks. It is the Quantum LSQ. Spray painted the recoil housing, make it look a little bit better, all that surface rust. This is how the exterior of the recoil looked. That's rusty surface look. Just a quick shaker can, nothing pretty. It's what you call a 20-foot looking good. It looks good from 20 feet. Got to do the rope on this one. How long do you think that would have lasted the new buyer? 3 or 4 weeks. We'll give him a new rope. Somebody's put an aftermarket Husky blade on it. It appears it's not too old. Not bad shape. I'll touch this up. I haven't gotten to that yet. But I'll put a nice edge on this one. The deal with this mower, you guys helped me with it. It fired off with Happy Juice, but the primer bulb was not priming, so I got it over here. I disassembled this thing first this morning. Kind of in rough shape. This is the snot that came out of it. I just threw the gasket material in there so I wouldn't make a mess. But kind of grayish sediment in the bottom of the bowl. I got rid of all of that. I was debating whether to put this in the ultrasonic cleaner, but I kind of manhandled it enough with some carb cleaner and cleaned it up as best as I can. I think it'll start. If not, I have a few aftermarket carbs I can throw on. Here's the bowl gasket. You could see the condition of that. A lot of calcium buildup of some sort. Got rid of that. Got my 2 gaskets ready to go when I do put this back together. So let's get back over here and discuss what I've been messing with. I had taken the belt guard off, and I've done a little poor man's rust coating. I used the oil that I just drained out of it with a 2-inch brush. You can get these brushes at Dollar Tree, a 3-pack, different sizes, for $1.25. I recommend that. So I started brushing on the oil. I'll finish that up here in a little bit. In the meantime, I'm taking each wheel off. So this has been cleaned up already. I'll show you what I did to clean this up nice and pretty. It doesn't take very long, and I think it adds value to the machine. Although this one looks like a piece of shit, I have to do a lot of body work on this, and that's still something that I'm debating how far I want to go. I just may use some brush-on black Rust-Oleum and cover this up the best I can. I really can't make it too pretty, the rough condition it's in. So you may experience what I have run into a few times with these wheels. Went to take the wheel off. Wheel comes off fine, but the center piece stays on the axle because it's all rusted. The metal insert slides right off of the plastic center of the wheel here and stays on the shaft. So what you want to do is take a little bit of moose piss, spray it around there, leave it in the sun for a little while. Let that loosen up. I also took the gear off, just a C-clip here. Brought this up, cleaned all the snot off all the teeth. Made that look pretty. I'll put some grease on that, put that back together. So what you want to do after this has been sitting in the sun for a while, I've already loosened this up. Take your vice grips. Don't go crazy. Line up the teeth in the vice grip here with all the splines on the center hub. And just start working it back and forth. You'll end up loosening it up with that moose piss in there, and just keep moving it around and around and slowly lift up on it, and you'll finally get this thing to come off. Keep twisting. If it's coming off rough, maybe you blast a moose piss in there right now and then finish removing it. So what happens, this thing's been sitting, as you can see, all the rust. Moisture gets in there and it rusts the center hub to the axle here. And it just gives way when you go to lift the wheel off. Metal on metal staying, and it'll just slide off the spline. So that's going to get greased up good. So back to my famous oven cleaner, Dollar Tree. The way cost cutting is going, they've changed the original 40 ounce down to a 32 to save money, and it went from $1 to $1.25 now for 32 ounces. But I'll still stick with this stuff. It works great. So all I did is sprayed this down. Old toothbrush, cleaned all that up nice. You got to have one good looking item on the piece of shit you're trying to sell. It can't all look bad, so I'm trying to make the wheels look nice. So I'll do the same thing. Spray this down, leave it in the sun for a couple minutes. I'll use a wider brush on this one. Clean up that nice. Try to make this unit look somewhat presentable. Then I'm going to come back down here after I do the blade, sharpen the blade, finish up my poor man's undercoating. If it was a newer machine, I would use the Osfo rust sealer and put it on. But this is an 06, it's in rough